In a small town, nestled between quiet streets and suburban homes, lived a little girl named Mia. She was only 6 years old, but her dreams reached as far as the stars. Mia wasn't like the other children in her neighborhood. While many of her peers were content with toys, dolls, or simple games, Mia had her eyes fixed on something much bigger, something that could change the world. Mia dreamed of space. She dreamt of traveling among the stars, exploring the vast unknown, and discovering what lay beyond Earth's horizon. Mia's fascination with space wasn't just a passing phase. It was a deep, burning passion that she could never quite explain. Ever since she could remember, Mia would look up at the night sky and marvel at the stars. She would ask her mother questions about space that even her mother couldn't answer. Why do the stars twinkle, Mommy? What's inside a black hole? How do astronauts breathe in space? Her questions were endless, her curiosity insatiable. One afternoon, as Mia sat on her bed surrounded by a pile of crayons and paper, she began drawing. It wasn't just any drawing, though. In her small hands she held a piece of paper, and with the focus only a child with a dream could have, she sketched a rocket ship. It wasn't perfect, but it was her vision. A towering ship with flames shooting out from the bottom, streaking into the vast sky. Above the ship she drew stars, planets, and the moon, all surrounding her idea like an orbit. This wasn't just a picture. It was her dream on paper. Mia's mother walked into the room to find her daughter surrounded by an array of colorful sketches. "Mia, what are you making this time?" she asked, her voice gentle and curious. Mia looked up at her mother with bright, hopeful eyes. "I'm making a rocket ship, Mommy. I want to go to space one day. I want to see the stars up close." Her mother smiled softly, her heart filled with love and pride, but also with a sense of sadness. She knew how hard it would be for Mia to achieve such a lofty dream. Their family wasn't rich. They lived in a modest home, and while they were always happy, they didn't have the means to make Mia's dreams come true. But still, her mother encouraged her. "You can do anything you set your mind to, Mia. Dreams like yours are the ones that change the world." Mia beamed with excitement, feeling comforted by her mother's words. But deep down, she knew her path wouldn't be easy. She didn't have access to space programs or the tools to become an astronaut. She wasn't surrounded by other kids who dreamed of the stars. But she didn't care. Mia believed in herself. She believed that one day, somehow, she would make it to space. As weeks passed, Mia's love for space continued to grow. She spent hours watching documentaries about astronauts, rocket launches, and the vast universe beyond. Every night she would look out her window at the sky, tracing constellations with her finger, imagining herself among the stars. One day, Mia's school hosted a community event where local professionals came to talk to the children. Teachers, doctors, engineers, they were all invited to share their stories and inspire the kids. Mia was excited. Maybe, just maybe, she could meet someone who worked in space science and could help her with her dream. Her heart raced as she entered the school's auditorium, her drawing of a rocket ship clenched tightly in her hands. As Mia sat down, she noticed a man walking up to the stage. He was tall, with a confident stride and a relaxed smile, dressed in a simple jacket and jeans. She didn't recognize him at first, but there was something about him that made her sit up straighter. He was charismatic, and his presence felt warm and inviting. He introduced himself. "Hi, everyone. My name is Elon Musk, and I'm the founder of companies like Tesla and SpaceX. I've spent my life building things that I hope will help make life better on Earth, and even help us explore space." Mia's heart skipped a beat. She knew that name. She had seen him on TV and heard stories about his incredible work with SpaceX. She had read articles about how he was helping to send people into space and even dreamed of making life multiplanetary. Elon Musk was someone who had achieved the impossible. He was living proof that dreams could come true. As Elon began speaking, Mia's excitement grew. He talked about how important it was to dream big and think beyond what seemed possible. Space is a place where anything can happen, he said. It's a place for those who believe the impossible is worth striving for. Mia's eyes widened as she listened intently to every word. She clutched her rocket drawing even tighter in her hands. Her dream didn't seem so far away anymore. After the event, Mia stood by the stage, still clutching her drawing. She watched as Elon Musk spoke with other children, listening to their questions and offering words of encouragement. She wanted to speak to him, to show him her drawing and tell him about her dream. But she was nervous. So many other kids had questions, and she didn't know if she would be able to get his attention. But then, something amazing happened. Elon looked over and noticed Mia standing there, a hopeful look on her face. He smiled and walked over to her. "Hey there," he said gently. "I see you've got a drawing. What's this?" Mia's cheeks flushed, and her voice trembled slightly as she spoke. "It's a rocket ship. I want to go to space one day. I want to see the stars up close." Elon crouched down to her level, his eyes softening. "That's an amazing dream, Mia. I believe you can do it. Keep dreaming big and keep working towards that goal. You're never too young to start." Mia's heart soared. She had never imagined that someone like Elon Musk, a person who had made such incredible things happen, would take the time to speak to her like this. And yet there he was, kneeling beside her, encouraging her to keep going. His words, full of kindness and wisdom, filled her with hope and belief. "Do you know," Elon continued, "I started with just a dream, too. When I was your age, I had no idea how I would make it happen, but I kept learning, kept growing, and kept working towards it." Mia nodded, her mind racing with possibilities. "I'll never stop dreaming," she said with determination. Elon smiled and gently took her drawing from her hands. "This is incredible. I'll keep this with me. And one day, I want to hear all about your journey to space." Mia's eyes sparkled with hope. She had no idea what the future held, but she knew that her dream was just beginning. With Elon's words of encouragement, Mia felt that anything was possible. She wasn't just a little girl dreaming of the stars anymore. She was someone with a purpose, someone who believed that one day she would make it to space. As Elon stood up and walked away, Mia looked up at the sky. The stars seemed brighter than ever. They didn't seem so distant anymore. With Elon Musk's encouragement, Mia's dream felt more tangible, more achievable. And so, from that moment on, Mia kept her eyes on the stars, her heart full of hope, and her mind set on one day reaching those stars. Because, as Elon Musk had shown her, with a little help, a lot of determination, and the courage to dream big, anything was possible. As days passed, Mia couldn't stop thinking about the moment with Elon Musk. His words echoed in her mind. "You're never too young to start." That night, as she lay in bed, she stared at the ceiling, her heart still racing with excitement. She was more determined than ever. The possibility of space travel, the stars she'd long admired, and her dream of reaching them all seemed so much closer now. Mia believed that one day she could be one of those astronauts launching into space, following in the footsteps of those who had come before her. The next day at school, Mia couldn't help but share her encounter with Elon Musk with her classmates. "Guess who I met yesterday?" she exclaimed, her voice bubbling with excitement. "Elon Musk! He said I could go to space one day." Her classmates gathered around her, their eyes wide with wonder. They were just as amazed as Mia had been when they first heard about it. They all knew who Elon Musk was. Some had even heard of SpaceX and its incredible achievements. They couldn't believe that Mia, the quiet little girl who loved to draw rockets, had actually met the man who was making space travel a reality. Mia felt proud, but also a little humbled. She knew that the journey ahead wouldn't be easy, but for the first time she didn't feel so alone in her dream. It wasn't just a fantasy anymore. It was something she could work towards. Days turned into weeks, and Mia's passion for space only grew stronger. She spent hours reading books about space exploration, watching documentaries and drawing even more elaborate pictures of rockets, planets, and astronauts. She started writing down her goals, creating a roadmap in her mind for how she would get there. Every night before bed, Mia looked up at the stars, wondering if one day she'd be among them. And in the mornings, as she sat down to draw, she saw the rocket ship from her dreams beginning to take shape on the paper. But Mia wasn't just dreaming of space anymore. She was planning for it. She knew it was going to take hard work, perseverance, and dedication. But with Elon Musk's words in her heart, she felt more capable than ever. A few months later, Mia received an unexpected letter in the mail. It was from the SpaceX team. She had submitted a letter of intent a few weeks earlier, just as a way to keep her dream alive. And to her surprise, it had caught the attention of the people working at SpaceX. The letter, printed on SpaceX letterhead, read, "Dear Mia, we were so moved by your passion for space exploration and your determination to one day be an astronaut. Your dreams remind us of the very reason we do the work we do every day. Keep believing in yourself, and remember that the sky is not the limit. It's just the beginning. We would love to stay in touch with you and help you learn more about the path to space. Please continue to pursue your passion, and we hope to see you in the stars one day. Best regards, the SpaceX team." Mia could hardly believe what she was reading. The SpaceX team had noticed her, and they wanted to help her learn more about space. She immediately ran to her mother, holding the letter with shaking hands. Her mother read it and smiled. "Mia, this is incredible! They believe in you!" Mia's heart swelled with joy and excitement. It wasn't just a letter, it was the beginning of a journey, one that Mia knew would shape her future. She had Elon's encouragement, the support of SpaceX, and her unwavering belief that anything was possible. Over the next few years, Mia continued to learn, grow, and explore her passion for space. She attended summer programs, participated in science fairs, and kept in touch with the people at SpaceX who were guiding her along the way. Every new experience, every new piece of knowledge, only fueled her desire to one day be an astronaut. Then the day came when Mia was selected for an internship at NASA. She had worked hard for this moment, studying astrophysics and engineering, learning everything she could about the science of space travel. It was a huge milestone in her journey, one that she would never have believed was possible if she hadn't met Elon Musk that day so many years ago. As Mia stood on the launch pad, watching a rocket take off into the sky, she realized just how far she had come. Her dream, once just a simple drawing of a rocket ship, had turned into something real. She had worked hard, stayed focused, and now she was on the brink of achieving what once seemed impossible. And it all started with a little girl, a drawing, and a conversation with someone who believed in her. Mia smiled up at the sky, knowing that one day she would be part of a launch just like this one. She would travel among the stars, exploring the vast unknown, and sharing her story with the world, just like Elon Musk had done. And as she looked out at the stars, Mia knew that the sky would never be the limit again. For her, it was only the beginning. Mia's internship at NASA was the start of something incredible. She had always dreamed of working in space, but now it felt like everything she'd worked for was falling into place. She poured herself into her work with more enthusiasm and focus than ever before. Her team at NASA recognized her natural talent and her unwavering determination. They were impressed by her knowledge, her curiosity, and her willingness to learn, always staying ahead of the curve in a field that was constantly evolving. But what truly stood out was Mia's resilience. She faced challenges, just as any young person trying to break into the world of space exploration would. There were moments when she doubted herself, when the weight of the task ahead seemed overwhelming. But she would always remember the moment she'd spent with Elon Musk and how he had shown her the importance of believing in herself. "You're never too young to start," his words reminded her, and that gave her the strength to push through the toughest days. Mia's work didn't go unnoticed. She was soon assigned to a special project, one that would change the trajectory of her career. The project was ambitious, designing a new propulsion system for space missions. Mia, with her expertise in engineering and her passion for space, was the perfect person for the job. She worked late into the night, researching and refining her ideas. Her mentors at NASA were amazed at how quickly she grasped complex concepts and how innovative her designs were. One day, as she was finalizing her designs for the propulsion system, Mia received an unexpected phone call. It was Elon Musk. He had heard about her work at NASA and was eager to catch up with her. They hadn't spoken in years, but the connection had never faded. Elon's voice on the other end of the line was warm and familiar. He asked about her work, about the challenges she faced, and about her goals. "I've been following your progress, Mia," Elon said. "What you're doing is amazing. I knew you had it in you. Keep pushing the boundaries. You're going to do incredible things." Mia felt a rush of emotion. To hear those words from someone she had admired for so long, someone who had believed in her from the very beginning, was beyond what she could have imagined. She knew that her journey was far from over, but with Elon's encouragement, she was more motivated than ever to reach for the stars. As the years went by, Mia's reputation grew. She was not just another young engineer. She was a rising star in the space industry, known for her innovative ideas and relentless drive. She became a symbol of what could be achieved with determination, passion, and the right support. Her work at NASA led to collaborations with SpaceX, and soon she was working directly with Elon and his team on a mission to Mars. Mia's life had come full circle. The little girl who once held a drawing of a rocket ship and dreamed of exploring the stars was now an integral part of the team that would make space travel a reality for generations to come. Her story, one of hope, perseverance, and the power of belief, was a testament to what could happen when someone took the time to believe in a dream. And as she stood on the launch pad, preparing to board the very spacecraft that would take humanity to Mars, Mia thought back to that moment with Elon. She thought about how, without his encouragement, she might never have taken the first step toward her dream. Looking up at the sky, now illuminated by the stars, Mia knew that the journey was just beginning. She was no longer just a little girl with a dream. She was a pioneer, a part of something much bigger than herself. And no matter how far she went, no matter how many challenges she faced, she would never forget the power of one simple moment, one simple conversation, and one incredible act of belief. The sky was no longer the limit for Mia. It was her playground, her future, and her destiny. And she was ready to explore it, one step at a time. As Mia's mission to Mars grew closer, the anticipation began to build within her. She had come a long way from that young girl, standing on a dusty sidewalk, holding a drawing of a rocket ship, to now standing on the precipice of history. Her every step was one step closer to something far greater than herself, She was not just an engineer anymore. She was a pioneer, a trailblazer who would inspire generations to come. But the road to this moment had been far from smooth. Throughout the years, Mia had encountered countless challenges. There were moments of self-doubt, times when the weight of expectations felt crushing. Sometimes the world seemed to close in on her, reminding her of the difficulties she faced as a young girl from a modest background who had dared to dream big. People had questioned her abilities, doubted her potential, and told her that space exploration was a field dominated by the privileged and the powerful. But Mia refused to let those voices define her. She took each setback in stride, using them as fuel for her fire. She knew that the journey to space was not just about rockets and propulsion systems. It was about breaking barriers, overcoming adversity, and proving that anyone, no matter where they came from, could achieve their dreams. Her time at NASA had been crucial in helping her develop as a scientist and engineer. She had learned the intricacies of space exploration, from the mechanics of launching spacecraft to the challenges of human survival in the harsh environment of space. But the real lessons Mia learned were the ones about resilience and the power of perseverance. She had witnessed firsthand how important it was to keep moving forward, even when the odds seemed insurmountable. In the weeks leading up to the mission launch, Mia found herself working longer hours, reviewing data, and making final adjustments to the spacecraft. Every decision felt monumental, and the pressure to succeed weighed heavily on her shoulders. She knew that the success of this mission would not only affect her, but would also set the stage for future generations of explorers who would follow in her footsteps. One evening, as Mia sat in her office surrounded by diagrams and blueprints of the spacecraft, she was joined by a familiar face, Elon Musk. He had been with her throughout this entire journey, offering guidance and support whenever she needed it. He had been there from the very beginning, when Mia was just a girl with a dream and a drawing. And now, he stood by her side as she prepared to take on the most significant challenge of her life. "Are you nervous?" Elon asked, his voice calm yet filled with a sense of excitement. Mia looked up from her work, meeting his gaze. She had always admired Elon's ability to stay composed, even in the face of challenges that seemed impossible. But now, as the launch neared, Mia couldn't help but feel the weight of everything that had led up to this moment. "A little," she admitted. "But more than anything, I'm excited. I've worked so hard for this, and now it's real. I'm about to do something that's never been done before." Elon smiled, his eyes gleaming with pride. "You've earned it, Mia. I've watched you grow, and I know you're ready for this. This mission isn't just about sending a rocket to Mars. It's about proving that anyone can make a difference no matter where they come from." Mia felt a rush of gratitude at that moment. Elon's belief in her had been a constant source of strength throughout the years. Without his encouragement, without that simple moment when he had knelt beside her as a child, Mia might never have dared to dream so big. His support had helped her push through the toughest times, and now, as she prepared to make history, she was more determined than ever to succeed. The day of the launch arrived, and the world was watching. The launch site was filled with reporters, engineers, and spectators, all eager to witness the beginning of this historic journey. Mia stood at the forefront, surrounded by the team that had worked tirelessly alongside her. She wore her astronaut suit, her face calm but her heart racing. This was the moment she had been preparing for, and she knew it was going to be nothing short of life-changing. As the countdown began, Mia took a deep breath, her mind focused on the task at hand. This wasn't just about her. It was about inspiring millions of young people who, like her, had once been told that their dreams were impossible. It was about showing the world that dreams, no matter how big, could become reality, if you had the courage to chase them. 10, 9, 8, the countdown echoed across the launch pad. Mia's heart pounded in her chest, but she kept her eyes fixed on the rocket in front of her. She thought about all the people who had supported her, from her family to the SpaceX team, to Elon Musk himself. And she thought about the little girl she once was, who had never given up, who had always believed in the possibility of reaching the stars. 3, 2, 1, ignition! The roar of the rocket engines shook the ground beneath her feet. The spacecraft rose into the sky, leaving a trail of smoke behind it as it ascended toward the heavens. Mia watched in awe as the rocket soared higher and higher, breaking through the atmosphere and heading for Mars. It was a moment of pure wonder, a moment she had dreamed of for so long. As the rocket disappeared from view, Mia felt a sense of accomplishment wash over her. This was just the beginning. There would be many more challenges ahead, but she was ready. She had reached the stars, and now it was time to explore the universe. As she stood there, surrounded by the people who had helped her get to this point, Mia couldn't help but reflect on how far she had come. She had been that little girl with a drawing of a rocket ship, holding on to a dream that seemed impossible. And now she was an astronaut, one of the first to embark on a mission to Mars. Mia had proven to herself and to the world that with determination, hard work, and the support of those who believed in you, anything was possible. And as the rocket soared into space, Mia knew that her story was far from over. She had only just begun to explore the vast unknown, and she was ready for whatever lay ahead. As Mia's spacecraft soared into the vast expanse of space, the world watched in awe. Her journey had become something greater than a single mission. It had become a symbol of hope, perseverance, and the unyielding power of dreams. From that little girl clutching a drawing of a rocket ship to a trailblazing astronaut on a mission to Mars, Mia had defied the odds and proven that with determination, anything was possible. Elon Musk, who had once kneeled beside a young girl with wide eyes and a big dream, watched as the rocket disappeared into the stars. He knew that Mia's success was just the beginning. It wasn't just about reaching Mars. It was about inspiring generations to come, showing them that no dream was too big, and no person too small to make a difference. And as the rocket left Earth's atmosphere, Mia sat aboard the spacecraft, her heart filled with pride. She had fulfilled her childhood dream, and inspired the world in the process. In the silence of space, she thought back to that moment when she was just a little girl, and how she had looked up at the stars, unsure of what the future held. Now she knew that no matter where life took her, there was no limit to what she could achieve. Dreams were not just figments of imagination. They were the starting point for greatness. Mia had proved that, and she had inspired others to do the same. As she looked out of the window at the stars, she smiled, knowing that this journey was just the beginning. The universe was vast, and there was still so much to explore, but one thing was certain. Mia was no longer the little girl with a dream. She was an explorer, a pioneer, and a beacon of hope for anyone who dared to dream big. And as the world followed her journey to Mars, they would remember the moment when one little girl's dream reached the stars, changing the course of history forever.